So I opened up a legitimate modeling agency in my kitchen, which for me, coming from a personal talent manager mom, was the most natural thing for me to do.
Yes.
And initially, the gentlemen are asking me about the models are asking me about the gentlemen, and initially I'm introducing people to each other, not expecting anything, just for the heck of it. First of all, it morphed into an escort service. I started out with one girl and one guy. The girl sent me her friends, the guy sent me his friends, and it really seemed like a win-win for everybody.
Mm-hmm. And it was for a while.
For 13 years.
It was for a while.
For 13 years.
And did you ever work as an escort?
No, I did not.
Never a prostitute.
I was between, I was on television making records and had my billboard on Sunset.
Nothing's too big. I'm going to have that.
All right. Right now, we are standing in front of the home of legendary producer Robert Evans. Can you believe it? He gave me a personal interview to talk about my billboard. Let's go inside.
I haven't had a call on a billboard since Chinatown 15 years ago. You know, kid, I've never seen anyone get a bigger reaction on a billboard as you got on this.
Really?
Now, I called you on it, you didn't call me.
So I was really leading a double life for these 13 years.
Got it.
You know, in the studio, making tracks, making the records.
Oh, hi! Come on in. I was just listening to my new record, Everybody is a Star. But the truth is, I'm very lonely because my friend Rhonda moved to New York, and I don't know what to do with myself. Maybe you could call me and tell me what to do with myself. The power of television. Hello? Yes, this is Babydol. You want to do what to me? And then you want to come over and do what? And then you want me to do what? What time can you come over?
And then what about sex tips? Did you teach them sex tips?
Oh, yeah, lots of sex tips.
You did?
My book is loaded with sex tips.
So let's talk about Ben Affleck.
What would you like to know?
Let's start off with his penis.
I understand. The line starts to the left. About 8 inches.
She was convicted in 2000 of running an international prostitution ring. She did 2 years hard time after being convicted on that. She served the hard time in one of the toughest prisons in California. She got out in 2002, was on parole till 2005, and hasn't been free to write about it until now.
Tonight, will Paris Hilton go to jail? Plus, a former Hollywood madam who did time in a sister jail to the one where Paris would serve her sentence. What was it like?
It was a very traumatizing experience. It has a glass door with a toilet in full view so everyone can see when you go to the bathroom, and you sleep on a steel shelf. You are subjected to humiliating strip searches where you have to, bend over, take all your clothes off, and they look up you with a flashlight. The lights are fluorescent. They never shut off. You get massive headaches. It's really very serious and very traumatizing.
Inside Edition.
Another high-profile inmate who recently served time in the same jail as Paris Hilton has some frightening words for the celebrity jailbird. She describes a dirty and degrading place when talking about Paris Hilton's new prison home. And what this woman says could scare anyone straight.
It is a really ugly, cold, barren, lonely place, and you don't want to be there. The blanket they give you is so bacteria-ridden, it made my skin rash so horribly. I don't even know if they wash it.
It's no picnic for Paris in prison.
She gets a little paper bag, like about that big, with like toothbrush, toothpaste, a comb, a bar of soap. There's no razors, there's no tweezing, there's no blow dryer, there's no curling iron, there's no hair dye. But that's the least of your problems. It's a severe unit. People think she's getting treated like she's in the VIP. No.
They have sex with people for money, not just posing pictures?
Oh, yes.
By the defense in the Phil Spector murder trial because of the following passage written in her memoir. I'm quoting. Secrets of a Hollywood Supermadam, in which she details the time she sent a tall blonde woman named Alana to see a Texas politician in the city's Bel Air hotel. Quote, unfortunately, this gal would make headlines in the news years later after being murdered in the home of a wealthy record producer, end quote. Hollywood Supermadam Jody Babydol Gibson joins me now from Hollywood. Thank you for coming on, Jody. So was it her? Was it Lana Clarkson? Is that what you were telling us, that that the B-movie actress, as she's usually described, or the hostess at the Hard Rock, was in fact working for you as a prostitute?
There is one point that the team feels very strongly about, and that is this. As the court knows, we have indicated previously that we believe that while the universe of her testimony may be viewed the way the court does and the way the prosecution does, we have presented previously parts of that proposed testimony that we think are relevant, whether Mr. Spector testifies or he doesn't testify. And I know the court has ruled and indicated previously that the court does not agree with the defense in that respect, but I think it is important to protect the record, to stick on it, the fact that we do believe in those limited areas that we've discussed previously, whether Mr. Spector ever hits the witness stand or doesn't hit the witness stand, that particular portion of Ms. Gibson's testimony bears relevancy to the issues in this case that's been presented thus far and will be continued to be presented.
I have now been subpoenaed by the defense, and here we are.
And the answer is yes, she worked for you as a prostitute.
Yes.
You allege. And for how long, Jody?
Well, it's a little bit more evidentiary than that. Her name is in my trick book, in the evidence.
As long as this trial is in existence, if you go out and promote your book and you mention Lana Clarkson in any way, shape, fashion, or form while this case is ongoing, I am ordering you not to do that. It is inappropriate. You are a potential witness in this case, despite the comments that were just made. All witnesses are ordered not to talk to the media, especially because your testimony at this point is inadmissible. It would be nothing but an attempt, in my view, to influence the jury.
Will you give testimony then that will be damaging to the image of the victim in this horrible incident, whether it was murder or accident?
I can tell you that the Los Angeles Times did print that they did see her name in my trick book.
Wow, this is really dramatic stuff happening in the courtroom. An appearance by the Madam Jody Babydol Gibson. And of course, the big controversy was, did Lana Clarkson ever work for her? In her book, I believe, or at least one of them, she has made a reference to a woman who is clearly Lana Clarkson, if you read between the lines.
May I say something, Your Honor?
Certainly.
Those documents, my black book, has been in chain of custody since 1999, so this allegation is really insulting the people and the chain of custody and the sense of scrutiny that the criminal evidence room maintains over its chain of custody.
You had the prosecutor, Alan Jackson, saying, wait a second, the black book that Jody Babydol Gibson had was clearly doctored to make it look like Lana worked for her by adding an LC. In fact, I believe we have that picture there somewhere. We'll show it to you in the next few minutes. And then Jody Babydol Gibson, her attorney, saying that's insulting. It's had a chain of command since 1999. It wasn't doctored. How do you go out and promote a book that contains a reference, I believe, to somebody who is clearly Lana Clarkson without treading on mentioning Lana Clarkson or somehow trashing her?
Well, there's no question it limits her First Amendment rights. I mean, she's got a right to write a book. She's got a right to publicize that book. She's got a right to talk. The judge is attempting to balance the rights of the prosecution, the government here, against her First Amendment rights.
More drama, more excitement. Sometimes these cases, especially out of Hollywood, truth is stranger than fiction. Who could have expected Jody Babydol Gibson, the infamous madam, to be strutting into court with her pink lipstick and addressing the judge?
I now can't say anything.
You know, I have to advise her not. I have to advise her not to say
me.
anything on that point right now.
I've been gagged.